Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. So while I'm waiting for my ribs to heal, I figured I would keep an eye on Facebook Marketplace, and I managed to find this Honda all-terrain cycle estate deal. This stuff belonged to the seller's brother, who unfortunately had a problem with cancer, and it led to his demise. So you can see, first of all, I got a nice fuel tank out of the deal, and it appears to be in pretty nice shape. It's definitely worth sealing. I'm personally hoping that I could kind of rinse it out and use it as it is. Came with two recoil starters. The Kawasaki, there's no spring or anything in there. I think that's a three-wheeler, and I think this is off of a Kawasaki three-wheeler. So there they sit for now. Here's the Honda 185-200 model ATC. If I pull this off, you'll see there's a spring underneath there. It got a little bit battered, but it's definitely savable. The nice thing about this particular recoil, you could get the dogs and the little butterfly springs to push things out. The copper washer with the C cut into it, or the D cut into it, and all that stuff. So this is definitely rebuildable. I paid $125 for the whole deal, just in case I didn't mention that yet. And quite honestly, this and the gas tank more than cover the $125. This cover, they seem to disappear regularly. The headlight here, I mean, though it's a little bit nasty, they're getting harder and harder to put one's hands on too. These grommets, sleeves, connectors for the carburetors, they're also getting harder and harder to find. Even the carburetor here, not that I'm not going to use this, it's probably full of powder, but the locking manual choke, not a bad thing. I think that fender is off a Kawasaki also, and it might also be aftermarket. I don't recall any Hondas that bolt on top and on the side. If I'm wrong on this, you guys could correct me. Now let's go to the monster in the room. Whenever one picks up a motor, it's kind of take a chance on me type thing. This is seized, but I'm told it's weather seized. It was fine when it was put up for storage. It's interesting, the guy told me that the rolling frame, the thing that was left after these parts were removed, disappeared. And I happened to buy a rolling frame from that area just recently. So here's the rolling frame. Though this is an 84 ATC 200S, and that motor is a 185 motor. So even though we talked about it and laughed about it, he was cool. I don't think that's the motor that goes with this frame. So here's the motor. I already checked this, right? 40 ohms. So the pulse generator is good. I don't know what's going on behind here, and from the looks of those, they're probably going to want to be sprayed before I take them apart, right? The engine is seized. Still has the cap here. Still has the front of the exhaust system. The spark plug's in it. Doesn't look like this has been adjusted. So I'm thinking that I should be able to free up this engine. Unfortunately, not only is this stripped, but at some point it looks like it was welded too. So the shifter's a little bit shaky. It's in neutral. I'm hoping that's a good sign. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start out by pulling the plug, and I'm going to spray it, then pull the plug and put some PB Blaster down there. See if we can't loosen it up. If this engine comes back to life, this is like a 3-4x type deal. I mean, I probably got my 125 bucks worth between the gas tank, the recoil, even though it's partial, the fender, the headlight. You know, I probably got my money's worth there without the engine. It's just the deal gets a lot sweeter if this engine has some life left to it, if it's just not parts. So I sprayed it and attempted to get it loose. I mean, it's not exactly short, and it doesn't seem to want to give it up. I mean, it's like rock solid in there. So I'm gonna leave that for a little while and go get lunch, right? Sometimes patience is the best virtue in the world, and while I'm doing that, I think let's give that intake valve a little bit of a hoot. With as tight as that spark plug is, I'm beginning to worry about this engine. I hope it comes back to life. I definitely want to spray a little bit in there before I even attempt to turn it over. So let's go have some lunch. So here's what the plug looks like. And I think I'm screwed. I was told this engine was stored inside, actually it was stored in the trunk of a 4-door Nova that was getting ready to go out and be scrapped. And I mean, it was damp in that trunk, right? The bottom of the trunk area was rusted out. I don't see a lot of, I didn't see, and it doesn't smell like mouse activity, but just from the looks of that plug, I'm really thinking that the word screwed comes to mind. Well, the good news is we got a little bit here. I just want to make sure I'm not smacking up the valves. So I'm going to pull these caps off, and staying away from, well, basically I just want to make sure that they appear to be closed. So I'm hoping for the best. Maybe this one is going to be a survivor. Up on top here, it actually looks pretty good. Even the cam, the little bit you could kind of see alongside of here, it actually looks pretty nice. I hope this engine survives. So it looks like, you know, I got things basically loosened up. The valves are still a little tight when it pushes up against those, but you can see I can get it to go all the way around through all 4 cycles, right? 2 full, or 3, 4, or 4 full, 2 full RPMs. So that's all good news. I think this motor is savable without taking it apart. What it's going to need is to get mounted up on a frame and get a compression test. Then the tranny needs a check. I guess I can pop it into gear and see if it goes. Some of these older 180cc motors, they do have a bit of a shifter transmission problem. They lock up such that it won't go into gear. Forward or reverse is just kind of stuck, and as you're trying to move this, as you're trying to shift them, it feels like something's blocking it. So some of these older guys do suffer from that. Hopefully this one doesn't. I'm thinking it doesn't. It looks to be in pretty nice shape, so I'm hoping for the best. Anyway, I think I'm going to end this video here, because I'm not quite ready to mount this on a frame and go forward with it. And in the meantime, go out and get yourself a deal. You know, you really can't pass up on this stuff. Getting harder and harder to find these Honda all-terrain cycle parts. So whenever you do, you really want to kind of grab them up and, you know, get them stable, get them stored properly, and have them available for future generations. I really want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Please remember, feet down, heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. Don't let any get by you, because you don't know how many you're going to get. Also, don't fall. It hurts. Bye now.